I want you guys to be able to go through the warm-up on your own after we go through this real fast and just check your answers on that warm-up activity. Okay? All right. So I'm going to move on, and we're going to keep it short because this presentation is going to be 2 parts. So we're going to do 1 part today, and then we're going to do 1 part tomorrow. Okay. All right. All right. So this one's going to be very similar to the warm-up, and that's why I said after we go through this, you'll be able to go back and look at your warm-up activity and determine how well you got that, or if there's any mistakes or any corrections you need to make. Okay, and then I'll explain the assignment afterwards too. Okay, so for today, we're pretty much just going to stay on this page here. All right. Okay, so here we have a situation. We have 5 friends have a certain number of DVDs. Now, this is a little old because obviously a lot of us are making our DVDs go by the wayside with Netflix and things like that, and even YouTube. YouTube has a lot of movies on them now too. Okay, so, but we're going to stick to DVDs here. Okay, Dan has the fewest DVDs. Okay, Donna has 7 more than Dan. Betty has twice as many as Donna. Jerry has 3 times as many as Dan. Kenesha has 6 fewer than Donna. Okay. Now, when we first look at that, it's like that's just a lot of information, and there's a lot of information in that problem that we also do not know. Okay, and that is kind of key to us. Okay, because I think that when there's information we don't know, we start to panic and we start to freak out that we're not quite sure what to do. Okay, so, but if we kind of take it in steps here, then we'll be able to break it down and we'll be able to figure out a little bit easier. Okay, all right. Okay, define a variable for the number of DVDs that Dan has. Okay, so if we have Dan, we wanted to determine a variable. And remember, a variable is a letter, okay? Actually, the real definition is a symbol, often a letter. So we mostly always want to go ahead and use a letter. So whenever we refer to Dan in our expressions here, we're going to use D for Dan. Okay? That's all we have to do for the first part. Now, use your defined variable to write algebraic expressions to represent the number of DVDs each person has. Okay? Right? Dan has the fewest. Okay? So I'm going to write this as the expression for Dan has the fewest. Dan is less than whatever. Okay? Whoever else we put in there, Dan's going to be less than that. Okay? For the next one, Donna, let me actually use a little bit better contrasting color there. So I'm just going to note to myself or have this here. Dan has the fewest. So Dan is less than everybody. Okay? Okay? The next one, Donna has 7 more than Dan. Okay? So that means Donna has as many as Dan has, but she also has 7 more than that. So there's Donna. Okay. Okay. Betty has twice as many as Donna. Okay, so we don't have a variable for Donna yet. Okay, we don't have a variable for Donna, and so in this situation, we're not going to use a variable for Donna because we know what Donna has. We know that Donna has D plus 7. So if Betty has twice as many as Donna, she has 2 times, this is Donna, she has 2 times D plus 7. Okay? 2 times D plus 7. Jerry will have 3 times as many as Dan. Okay? So Dan is D, so 3 times D. Okay? Real quick, I want to make sure that these two make sense, especially this one. Do we understand why we're using 2 times D plus 7 here? We're using D plus 7 because Donna is D plus 7. And if Betty has twice as many as Donna, that means it's 2 times D plus 7, which represents Donna up here. Okay? All right. Jerry has 3 times as many as Dan, so 3D. Tanisha has 6 fewer than Donna. Okay, so again, Donna's up here, D minus 7, right? So Tanisha has the number that Donna has, which is Dan plus 7. Minus 6. Now, why did I put this in front? Okay, because order matters when we subtract. We've always said that, right? So if Kenesha has 6 fewer than Donna, right, we have to take the amount that Donna has and we have to subtract 6. Okay? Is everybody understanding that? Okay, does everybody get that well? If you guys have no questions on that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to present on Dreambox. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and present on Dreambox and kind of give you guys a look into probably some of the stuff that I've assigned to you guys on Dreambox, and then maybe that way you guys will be more comfortable with that. So let me go